In this video, you will discover every hidden car that was too dangerous to sell, and the further down this list you go, the harder these stories become to believe. Number 6. Ford Pinto. A car company once decided that paying for funerals was cheaper than fixing a fuel tank. That is not an exaggeration. That is the story of the Ford Pinto. In the late 1960s, Ford was losing the small car war to Japanese imports, and the chairman demanded a response in record time. Engineers were given just 25 months to design and build the Pinto, roughly half the normal development period. Styling and tooling were locked in before engineering could finish its work. The result was a fuel tank placed inches behind the rear bumper, with no crush space and exposed bolts pointing directly at it. Ford's own pre-production crash tests revealed the danger before a single car ever reached a customer. A confidential 1970 wall test reportedly tore the filler pipe off the tank, punctured the metal with a differential bolt, and jammed the doors shut. Ford built the car anyway. Between 1971 and 1976, moderate rear impacts could rupture the tank and turn the Pinto into a fireball. In 1978, Ford was forced to recall roughly 1.5 million Pintos and Mercury Bobcats. The fix was almost insulting in its simplicity: a longer filler pipe, a polyethylene shield, a few reinforcement straps, parts that would have cost a handful of dollars per car if installed during production. But the deeper twist is even stranger. The Pinto technically met the federal safety standards of its era. Investigators had to push testing past the original legal minimum just to prove what every burn victim already knew: a car can pass every rule on paper and still be a coffin in motion. Number 5. Chevrolet Corvair. Picture an American family sedan in 1960 with the engine in the back, air-cooled like a Porsche, and a swing axle suspension that punished any driver who treated it like a normal car. That was the Corvair. Chevrolet wanted a distinctly American answer to imported compacts, and it built something genuinely radical. The problem was hidden in the chassis. The early Corvair used unusually low front tire pressure, higher rear pressure, and no front anti-roll bar as standard. Push it hard into a corner, and the rear could snap loose without warning. Chevrolet knew. By 1962, a stiffer suspension package was offered as an option. By 1964, the company added a front stabilizer bar and a transverse rear leaf spring. By 1965, the Corvair had been completely redesigned with sophisticated independent rear suspension. But by then, it was already too late. A young lawyer named Ralph Nader had seen enough. In 1965, he published Unsafe at Any Speed, and the Corvair was the opening target. General Motors made the worst possible decision. The company hired private investigators to follow Nader, dig into his personal life, and try to discredit him. The harassment campaign was exposed in front of the United States Senate. Outrage exploded. In 1966, President Lyndon Johnson signed the National Traffic and Motor Vehicle Safety Act, giving the federal government the power to set binding safety standards for every car sold in America. Every seatbelt, airbag, and crumple zone in modern cars traces back to that moment. And here is the strangest twist of all. A 1972 federal study later concluded the early Corvair was not unusually dangerous compared to other cars of its era. The myth was bigger than the metal, but the law it produced changed everything. Number 4. Toyota bZ4X. Imagine buying the most reliable brand on earth and being told days later not to drive your new car because the wheels might fall off. That actually happened in 2022. The bZ4X was Toyota's first mass-produced electric vehicle. It was supposed to announce Toyota's arrival in the modern electric race. Instead, it became a global embarrassment within weeks of launch. Reports started arriving in Japan, then Taiwan, then the United States, where one driver experienced an actual wheel separation. Toyota investigated and discovered something almost impossible to believe. Sharp turns or sudden braking could cause every hub bolt on a wheel to gradually loosen until the entire wheel detached from the car. Toyota engineers could not initially identify a clear root cause, so the company issued the most extreme instruction a manufacturer can give: do not drive the vehicle. In June 2022, Toyota recalled all 2,700 bZ4X units worldwide, less than 2 months after launch. Production was halted. Sales were stopped for over 3 months. In Japan, the recalled vehicles had not even reached customers yet because they were still being prepared as showroom display units and test drive cars. Toyota restarted production on October 6, 2022, after replacing the hub bolts and tightening assembly procedures. But the damage went far beyond engineering. Only 258 American customers had received the car before the recall. Toyota offered them loaners, fuel reimbursement, warranty extensions, free charging credits, and even full buybacks. The most reliable car company in the world had built an electric vehicle whose first global headline was wheels falling off in normal driving. Number 3. Mercedes-Benz A-Class. A car designed to be safer than anything in its class became dangerous because it was too clever for its own physics. The first A-Class launched in 1997 as a tiny premium hatchback with an extraordinary engineering trick. The floor was built like a sandwich, with the engine canted forward to slide under the cabin in a frontal crash instead of crushing into the passengers. Occupants sat unusually high above the actual floor pan. It was brilliant. It was also unusually tall for such a small footprint. Just days after launch, on October 21, 1997, a Swedish magazine performed a sudden swerve maneuver designed to simulate avoiding a moose in the road. The A-Class rolled onto its side. The footage went around the world within hours. The very test that exposed the flaw became known as the moose test, and it permanently entered the engineering vocabulary of the automotive industry. Mercedes did something rare for a company of its size. It admitted the problem immediately. Deliveries were suspended for 12 weeks. The chassis was retuned. Electronic stability program was integrated into series production as standard equipment. The roughly 18,000 vehicles already delivered to customers were retrofitted at no charge. From February 1998 onward, every A-Class shipped with stability control as standard. But here is the part most people never learn. Mercedes credits the moose test scandal with accelerating electronic stability program from a luxury novelty into a global safety standard. Europe eventually made it mandatory on every new car registered from 2011 onward. A small hatchback's most embarrassing moment became the reason millions of cars no longer roll over today. Number 2. Audi TT. Sometimes the engineers know exactly what is wrong, and the designers win the argument anyway. The first Audi TT arrived in 1998 looking like a concept car that had escaped onto a public road. Critics loved its Bauhaus shape. Drivers loved its handling. The problem was hidden at high speed. Audi's chassis engineers had originally recommended a small rear spoiler to reduce dangerous rear axle lift. The design team refused. They believed the spoiler ruined the purity of the shape. The car launched without it. Then the German autobahns started reporting crashes. By early 2000, Audi was investigating roughly 55 high-speed accidents, including 5 fatal crashes, all in Germany, with the fatal incidents reportedly occurring above 110 miles per hour. The pattern was always the same: a sudden lane change at extreme speed, and the rear of the car would lose grip without warning. Audi pulled the TT from production. Engineers added the spoiler the designers had originally rejected. They retuned the suspension. They installed electronic stability program as standard. Only then was the car allowed back onto the road. A handful of very early right-hand drive examples escaped without the modification, and today they are quietly traded as collector curiosities. The same lift that killed people now defines a tiny corner of automotive history. A famous shape briefly overruled an engineering warning. The market forced the correction in the worst possible way. Number 1. TVR Cerebra Speed 12. This is the only car on this list that its own creator decided was too dangerous to sell. Most canceled cars are killed by regulators or insurers. The Cerebra Speed 12 was killed by the man who built it. In the late 1990s, the British sports car company TVR set out to build the most extreme road car ever made, a 7.7-liter V12. A carbon and aluminum body, a claimed power output of around 960 horsepower from testing each engine bank separately. The whole car weighed barely a ton. The power-to-weight ratio was deep into Formula One territory. The engine was reportedly so violent it snapped the input shaft of TVR's own 1,000 horsepower dynamometer during testing. Customer deposits were already being collected. A waiting list was forming. Then the owner of TVR, Peter Wheeler, took the only completed prototype home for a personal evaluation. He returned and canceled the entire road car program. Over 900 horsepower in something that light was, in his own words, plainly ridiculous. The car was too wide for normal roads. The steering lock was too tight to maneuver in a city. No production tire on Earth could handle the output safely. Customer deposits were quietly returned. The single prototype was slowly stripped for parts to support the racing version. 6 cars in this video were stopped by lawyers, regulators, or recalls. Only one was stopped because the company that built it could not look at it without flinching. None of these vehicles set out to be dangerous. Each one was the product of ambition, reaching just slightly past what physics, materials, or human reflexes could handle. The cars you remember as legends and the cars the industry quietly buried often came from the same blueprints. The line between brilliance and disaster has always been thinner than any showroom is willing to admit.